muy emocionante. Un poquito incómodo cuando...
Yeah, I think, I think I'll circle back to about 3 or 4 days ago when we began the process and made our kind of our wishes known to the clubs that we thought made sense to acquire the player. It was kind of a limited group. It had to be a team that needed the piece, had to be a team that was obviously in contention, and had to be a team that had the personnel that we needed to get back into trade. So it began a couple of days ago, and obviously we cast a wide net, and then as things do, as we narrowed things down closer to last night, we finally got to the handful of teams that were actually in it. And then, when at the end, when our demands stayed consistent, then, we kind of eliminated the teams and kind of got down to a small number of teams, then down to two. And then when the Padres reached the tall threshold that we had for this trade, we decided to make the trade. Josh was, obviously in these things we have several scenarios and several ways we could do a trade. So Josh was in a couple of them with a couple of teams. It started as a one-player team with the Padres, and ended up for us to extract the extra player that we really coveted. We made the decision to put Josh in to get that player. We were trying to get most impactful player that we could get. We were fortunate that it was kind of a well-rounded package. We really liked the talent level of all five of the prospects. And we got a veteran player in Luke Voigt, which we think will help this year in the mentoring process and that type of thing. But we really like the five prospects that we got. They're all high upside, high character, high quality guys that we have scouted for a long time, had a lot of history with. And we were fortunate that it was a well-rounded trade. We've got two pitchers, two outfielders, and a shortstop, which fit our needs perfectly. Sure, the big league component, Abrams, CJ is he's a tooled up, twitchy type of live body guy that can really run, really play shortstop, very acrobatic and light on his feet. And he's got twitchy hands and really a quick bat. We see him as a five tool type of talent. He could steal your base. He stays at shortstop. He's got a good arm, and a guy that could hit at the top of any order. Mackenzie Gore is a guy that has been a famous guy and name for years. Finally put it all together at the age of 23, and he's got big stuff, a big arm from the left side, and came out of the chute very, very strong, and kind of faded out because he's pitched from limited innings for his whole professional career. So we're gonna go easy with him when he gets here, and really kind of take him slow and step by step. And then you've got the big time toolsy guys in James Woods, who's a 6'7", a specimen of a body. He's got big time power. He was a plus runner, and just it's a good balance player. And Hassel is again a five tool talent that we believe stays in center field, and a guy that can hit with power, play defense, throw, run, and steal bases, and his ceiling is high. They're all performing well. Their analytics were extremely high, and the scouts loved them. So it was a good group of guys. The 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 least known of the youngest and least known of the group is possibly the highest upside of the group. That was the piece that we really coveted and really wanted after the what we call the Elite Four. And Susana is a 18-year-old Dominican right-handed pitcher that's 6'6". He's got a good clean delivery. He throws the ball hard. He's 98. We saw him twice in the last 2 weeks. He's up to 102 miles an hour with a breaking pitch and a good feel for a changeup. He's a guy who is high school age, and we believe that if he was in this 2022 draft, he would have been a high to mid first round pick, and that was a player that we really coveted. So, that's a quick rundown of him. We've done a lot of work on him. We've seen him for years. We've had good history with him, so we felt comfortable with the ask. The fans, the message to the fans are, I wore this ring purposely. Okay, it shows what we've done in the past and what we're going to do in the future. In 2019 we had a slogan: "Bumpy roads lead to beautiful places." we're in a bumpy road right now, and we believe that coming out of this thing, it'll be a beautiful place. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Yeah, we had that piece of the deal was we had three names on that for that piece of the deal. Hosmer was one of them, and Voigt was one, and there was one other. Yeah, I was the guy who signed him too. I'll remember Juan as the guy who was with me when I won my first World Series as a general manager. Now I'm looking to do my next one. So he is a generational player. He's a wonderful person, and a true gentleman of the game. What can you say about Juan Soto that hasn't already been said? He was the MVP of the playoffs in 2019 as a 20-year-old. He came into the league as a 19-year-old, and when he left today with tears in our eyes, he thanked me for it. Well, we just say goodbye. It's tough. I've known him since he's 15, so we have a deep relationship. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. That's for sure. We're going to keep busy to the buzzer like we always do, and if something makes sense, we're certainly not afraid to pull the trigger. We need to improve this team. We need to improve the franchise, and we need to get back to winning rings. What was the first part? Yeah, daunting. I wouldn't use the word daunting. It was a deal that really it was a deal that we had to get the right deal or we weren't going to do the deal. We set the bar very, very high, and one team exceeded it, and that's the deal we made. And props to the San Diego Padres. They're not afraid, and ownership's not afraid, and AJ Preller's not afraid, and they were aggressive, and we made a deal that you call historical. I call it a good deal for both the San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals at this time in both our franchises' history. Yes, several times. We stuck to our asks. We had a specific set of players at each organization that we had to get to begin a conversation. And again, it turned out that there was only one organization that was willing to do that. And if they didn't, we probably wouldn't have done a deal. It was not a consideration. That's above my pay grade. I'm here to make this team is the best that it can be. And this was a prudent move. This was a prudent baseball move. It was a difficult move. It's a difficult day. We did feel that we were not going to be able to extend them, and we felt that at this time, with 2.5 years remaining, three playoffs runs available to Juan Soto, he would never be at more value than he is today, and that's what we predicated on. There was no edict to trade him or not to trade him. It was business as usual. Ownership gave me the latitude to make a good baseball deal if I felt it was a franchise altering deal, and it turned out that we got one to our liking, and it worked. And again, kudos to the other side for making it work. I think we've taken several steps forward. I think it accelerates the process. I think that you lose a generational talent like that, but you put in 5 key elements of your future championship roster, along with last year's trade deadline and the last 3 drafts and the last 3 international signing periods. We've put in this system in the last 3 years, 15 or 16 high quality, high tooled up players that have very impactful futures ahead of them. And I think that you could see that at the minor league level now, especially at the low minor league level, the performance of those players. And again, it was the right move at the right time for where we're at as a franchise. A difficult day and a difficult decision we had to make, but I give the ownership courage for doing it, and the operations department for having the ability to pull it off. I think the prospect capital that we received, I think it accelerates the process, because it not only gives us the players that to perform in the field, it opens up other avenues of revenues and payroll and that type of thing. Yeah, well, I'll answer the second part first. We're going to take it slow with him for sure. Like I said, he's had limited innings his whole career. He had a big workload early on this season that he's never had before. The injury did make things a little bit more complicated, a little bit more work. We had to do a lot of due diligence medically. But when there was nothing hidden, and there was the reports and the MRIs and were viewed, and the doctor gave us the thumbs up to complete the trade. We're happy to get him. We really we see an upside left-handed starting pitcher in the big leagues for years to come that we control for a long time. He was he was the leader of this organization after Max and that group left. It was Juan's team, and he took that and ran with it. He was really turned into a terrific leader, and it was he means a lot to me personally. Obviously, we have a great relationship, and we've known each other for a long time, and his family. Did it? No, I think that we're stronger than that. Our roots go way deeper than that, and we both understood that it's. I've said it publicly, and so has Juan. This isn't personal. This is business. Personally, he's one of the greatest teammates that's ever walked the halls. Yeah. By the way, kudos to the scouting and player development staff for running all those guys through here. We've had as good of impact players as anybody in the game. We've had stars here throughout our tenure here. We had a 10-year run that was unmatched by few teams. We won 4 division titles, a wild card title, a National League pennant, and a world championship. You can count on your one hand the teams that can match that success story in the last 10 years. We're equipped and capable and able to reboot it like we did before and have a run of 10 year of success. We're further along than we were in 2009 when I took over after 200 lost seasons. And we're excited for the next challenge to build our next championship caliber club. Yeah, they were all prospects at one time. You know, they were all the Hassels and the Abrams of the world. People forget we traded for Trey Turner, and we traded a draft pick that we signed, drafted, and developed to get Trey Turner and Joe Ross, and developed them within our system. And he spent 6 years here as a star big league player. The list goes on and on. You look at that 2019 team and you look how that team was assembled. It was assembled by trades, drafts, and international signings. And that's a kudos to player development and scouting. Differently, there are different parts, but we went for impactful players, and that's what we do in the draft. And it's a kudos to the Padres system. They had a bunch of good players to choose from, and they were the ones that really piqued our interest and kept us engaged. I think the identity is going to be, we're going to see some of these youthful, speed, fast, quick twitch type of players coming to the big leagues. A good team is strong up the middle, and soon you're going to see a 23-year-old Ruiz and a 21-year-old Abrams and a Louis Garcia and a JoJo Gray and a Terrence Gore and a Cade Cavelli. That's going to be your core. That's the beginning of the core, with a bunch of people coming after that. And the plan has been activated. It's been in place. We see it working, and we also see it in the big leagues. It's not fun. When we talk about bumpy roads, it's bumpy. I mean, it's bumpy out there, and it's no fun being the GM when you're losing all the time. I've been through it. This is my 40th year in professional baseball. I've been through all of it, and it's way more fun to average 92 wins a year for 10 years. Believe me. Well, we put our wish list out there to the teams. We needed a handful, a package of premium prospects, and then we talk after that. So that's where it began. And it eliminated quite a few teams, and we found a team that had the prospects we liked, wanted Soto enough, and we made the deal. All right, thank you.